Hey, y'all.
Hey.
We're late. We're a little late.
Always a little late when we do Legends.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't do Legends.
Not
when we
Legends,
do behind the
but we do
scenes,
behind
right?
the scenes.
So, were y'all at the No Kings March yesterday? Were you there?
I heard there was only 7 million people across America.
7 million people out of 300 to 400 million. We were talking with all of the members of the channel beforehand, and they were saying that America now has somewhere about 400 million. Last I heard was 300 million. So let's split the difference, 350 million. Out of 350 million, less than 4% showed up yesterday. Am I saying that you should be out there in them streets? No, ma'am. No, sir, I'm not. No, because this is not our problem. We did not break it and we cannot fix it. Let us know. We are using Wi-Fi right now. And so let us know how the internet is doing, because what I see does not look good. So we're going to keep this quick and short. Hey, y'all, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We are here in Cartagena, Teddy, Cartagena, Colombia, right? We just talked to our friend, my friend Jerry from Beverly Hills High School. Yeah, I know, y'all. I went to Beverly Hills High School, but I was bust, okay? And so my friend Jerry is about to move back to Colombia. He lived here for 3 years a while ago, over a decade ago. And he has decided that enough is enough. And he is moving back. All right. So if Jerry can do it, and I'm not going to say your last name, even though you gave me permission, I'm not going to say it. If Jerry can do it, you can do it too. All right. So for those of you who are not aware, back in 2018, y'all, look, Rick and we got a wake up call. We looked at our finances and it looked crazy. I love you.
Crazy. It's crazy.
But we did get our financial act together, y'all, because he was so depressed coming out of that meeting. He was so depressed, and I could not have my husband walking around there with his tail between his legs, right? So we got our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, y'all. Even today, if we can do that, you can do that too. Even in the Melon Felons America, even with what is going on in America, if we can do it, y'all, you can do it too. I'm serious. We have talked to too many of you. One-on-one in our one-on-one consultations, right, in coaching sessions. And we know that the majority of you who watch our channel have what is necessary to do the damn thing.
You can do it.
Right? To do the damn thing. All right. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, we want you to subscribe. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Why? Because we are building one of the underground railroads, just one of many. And we are going to need this. We are not being hyperbolic.
No.
We are not being hyperbolic. Y'all know the Melon Felon has lost his mind, and all of those folks around him have lost their minds. And if they think we're getting back in them the fields.
I mean, come on, y'all seeing it firsthand. You're living it.
We're not.
You're living it every day.
Yeah,
and nothing is changing for the better at all. So wake up, wake somebody else up, let them know, because like we said, 7 million out of 300 million, there's actually 340 million plus people in the United States population.
Right. And so we need 4% to show up. Where's your phone? Mine's over there. Give me your phone. Okay. So let's go ahead. 350 million, because I can do some math. Well, no, the calculator can do some math. How do I get down? Okay. His phone ain't opening, but we're going to do the math. We're going to do the math because here's the thing. What we know is that, okay, see, I had to pull it up. What we know is that we need 3.5% to 4%. Well, that's not what we know. That's what the experts say, that we need 3.5% to 4% to show up in order for change to happen. And y'all, it did not happen yesterday because why? Because we were not organizing. Because the WEIs may have been organizing. I don't know. I know there were some righteous white people out there. We know that. And we know some of our folks who look like us showed up. We know that. But we also know, clear. We also know they don't know how, they have not done what we've done. They have not done what we've done in so long. White men have not ever done what we've done. Ever. They have no clue. They have no clue, and they need to sit down and listen to us. I don't know if they are. Y'all. This is y'all's country. I don't know if they are.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
I would not hold my breath either. Now, white women fought for their right to vote, so they got a little bit of a clue, right? A little bit has been passed down. But they could not do it without us. See, that's the part they don't tell y'all. They could not do it without us. And then they did not fight for us to be included. That's what happens when you know your history. And that is why they don't want us to know our history. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. All right. So back to this. Okay. Really, phone? We really gonna do this right now?
I thought you had your Face ID in my phone.
I thought I did too. But it's not opening up. It doesn't recognize me. Okay, so let's do the math really fast. Okay, so 350 million times 0.04. I'm going to say 0.04. Now, the experts say we need 3.5 million folks to show up in them streets. I'm going to say 4%. And that equals 14 million people.
Yeah, Arlene had 13.6 million.
Okay, so let's just say 3.5 million times 0.035, 3.5%. That's still 12 million. They did not do what they needed to do. They did not do what they needed to do. And so it is time. I told my son, by the end of the summer, we will know. We will know if we are on the right track and getting back towards something that looks like democracy, or if we are going to be those folks who slide all the way down into 1934 Germany. Because right now we're in 1932 Germany. 100%. 100%. 100%. Because if American citizens can get detained without due process, without a warrant, without all of the stuff, we're in fascism, y'all. It's happening. And so you guys have to change your mindset. All right? We need to stop thinking like Americans and start thinking like global citizens, right, sweetheart?
Oh, definitely.
Let's start thinking like global citizens. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is this notion that America is the best country on earth and that every place else is dangerous and unsafe. And oh, what about the healthcare and all this other stuff that we hear from you guys when you all are living in a war zone? Y'all are living in a war zone. And I want you to be serious about turning off the propaganda. Turn it off. Okay, folks? Because America is the best marketing propaganda machine in the world. Yes, because they got you and everybody else believing that America is the best country on earth, that America has the best everything on earth. America doesn't have shit. Well, that's not true. That's not true. America has great ADA accommodations. America has a great United States Postal Service if they don't F it up.
They'll F it up.
they will F it up. But right now, right, you can drink the water pretty much everywhere in the country. Pretty much, but not everywhere. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Other than that, what else?
Yeah.
Y'all let us know. What else? If you're watching from the future, hey.
Hey.
I hope it's better than it is today. But maybe we came out with more than 7 million, and maybe it was more like 8 to 10 million, hopefully, that showed up yesterday. Come on, white folks, where you at? We need you to show up to save your country. And for all of the black folks who were talking about, oh, but my ancestors did this, my ancestors did that.
While they're too busy trying to erase your ancestors.
I'm just saying.
That they haven't already erased.
Right?
Come on.
What are you trying to save? What are you trying to save? Because even had Kamala gotten elected, this live stream probably would not have been too much different. It just would have been less urgent because we would have had a 4-year reprieve. All right. But some of y'all decided to sit home or vote for that woman who leads a party that you never hear from except for every 4 years. But because you don't understand how the system works, because you don't understand politics, because you don't understand that politics does you voted for her. Even though she's sitting in the room with Putin every other day, you voted for her because you didn't like the black woman's laugh. Or you stayed home because there's really no difference. Well, look at your 401k, look at your property values, look at everything economically and tell me that there is no difference. Because I don't know about you, but my 401k was doing really good under the old sleepy Joe Biden. And our property values were much higher, even with the higher interest rate under sleepy Joe Biden. Give me some sleepy any day of the week over the bullshit that's going on right now.
Over the stupidity that's going on right now.
So.
And you got to remember, our ancestors did not want to be here.
Didn't want to be in America.
They didn't want to be here. If they had the choice, they would not have been here.
No. So, last Thursday, we talked about, and last Sunday, we talked about moving to Colombia and specifically Medellín. And I remember Medellín has been on our list from the very beginning, from March 2022, maybe April 2022. We did our very first best cities list, and Medellín was on the list. And I remember we got so much pushback, not because we spelled Colombia wrong. No, but because people did not understand that just like people change, countries change. That's what they did not understand. And Colombia of the 1980s and 1990s, and we were talking about this and Pablo Escobar, and I'm going to do more research, and then we will put out a little mini documentary about Comuna 13 and Pablo Escobar. But from what I have been told from the locals, from what we were told from the locals, we got played, right? We got played. And I'm not sure that everything that they said about this, cartel, drug cartel person, blah, 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 whoop-de-woo, was entirely true. Remember, people, right now, as we are live, your president is trying to create a war between the United States and this little bitty country called Venezuela that only has basically one source of economic prosperity, and that is oil. And we know what's happening with oil. This country is so poor. Like, what in the hell are we doing? That's your tax money. That's your tax money, all right? And so we need to starve America of this tax money. So one of the first things that we thought about when we started talking about Medellin, and people saying, well, Colombia is so dangerous, and what about the cartels, and blah, 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 whoop-de-woo, and this and that and the other. Let me tell you, Medellin has it going on. Medellin, Colombia has it going on, okay? Cartagena, from what I have seen, has it going on. Now, I don't know. Okay, Cartagena, Teddy. We have not seen all of Cartagena yet. Tomorrow, we're going to take another tour and we're going to see more of it. One of the things that we can say, there's a lot more Black folks here in Cartagena, which is basically on the Caribbean Sea, right, than there is in Medellin.
Right. However,
and it is just as charming. The tourist area is phenomenal. The prices are great. It is safe, even though all of the police look like they're under 25 years old.
They do have some youngsters looking.
Right? And the girls all look like models.
All look like models.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many beautiful people in all of my life.
Beautiful
right?
women.
Medellin happens to be one of the top digital nomad expat hubs of the world, and especially of South America, y'all. Okay? So don't get it twisted. They got to focus on innovation, right? They've cleaned up their water, their infrastructure is great, et cetera, et cetera. Cartagena has a little bit to catch up with Medellin as far as the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. But by and large, I'm going to say, y'all, if you are not considering Colombia, it is only because you have bought into the propaganda, and we want you to change your mind.
You have that past thought.
So not just Medellin, any place that you hear a credible Black traveler talking about as a potential place to live, I don't want you to say, oh, I ain't never, you know. Okay, let's not have a negative view of place prior to investigation, prior to recent investigation, and not propaganda that is put out by America. Because remember, even in mainstream, even in 60 Minutes, which was a great, journalistic effort, you still had propaganda. You still had the notion that America was this shining hill on the, light on the hill and all this bullshit.
The beacon on the hill.
Right? But it was never great for us. And we know that. All right. So we never bought into that. So don't buy into it now. If you did not buy into America was the greatest country because you knew for us it never was, then don't buy into what they say about other countries. So that's lesson number 1 in the mind shift. Do not buy into the propaganda that America says about other countries, nor what your past assumptions are based upon geopolitical information from the 90s or from the early 2000s. Y'all, it's 2025, nearly 2026. The world is different today and it is changing. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Y'all know the deal. Put a Q in front of your question or comment, and those who are members will get priority, and we'll see what you're saying, and then we'll get to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So some of y'all we saw before we even went live, right, CK?
Hey, CK.
Some of y'all we saw. Hey, Dr. James Greer, good to see you. Badia, peace and blessings. Good to see you. Channel working to get up and out of Dodge. Good. Grateful for this channel. Good. We need you guys to take us seriously. Even if you're planning to stay, you can still take us seriously and prepare accordingly. If we're wrong, no harm, no foul.
And the most important thing is check it out for yourself. Just take a trip and see how it is.
Exactly. Hey, Arlene. Hopefully you got our information. If you need anything else, send us an email. Good to see you in the chat.
Hey, Gwen and Derek. Hola, hola.
Where y'all moving? I heard you. I heard you. See, the people who come to our meetups, like Gwen and Derek, they get private access to us, and they be WhatsApping us, letting us know what they doing, which means I get to give my opinion on what they doing. And you know, I got lots of opinions. I got lots of opinions on what folks should be doing, right? All right. And right, so okay, we'll show our little video of Medellin in a minute. I just want to say, Pearl Girl is in the house. Greta is in the house. Thank you, Greta, for
Greta.
always showing up.
Yes.
We love you. We love you. We love you, as well as Action VJ. Hey, Pacific Northwest, good to see you. Action VJ is in the house. Hey, y'all. Is a myth keeping you from moving abroad?
That's right. Action VJ, no.
One of the myths is that all of these places are dangerous. Colombia, isn't that dangerous? Isn't the cartel? Mexico, isn't the cartel? The cartel is everywhere except for in the United States. Babies, the cartel is called ICE. ICE. That is the cartel. I don't know. We don't know who they are, right? They're masked.
They're the ones covering their face.
They're masked, right? And searching around and just yanking folks out of cars and all this other nonsense. Come on now. That's what the cartel is. It looks like ICE. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Tana Rose is in the house. Shanora, good to see you. Killer Queen, is in the house. Be More Girl is in the house. And of course, Allison, New Life Curator, Bonita. Arlene, I did not go, but I heard it was 7 million. I'm not expecting anyone watching to go. The first time I saw Black women showing up, Black folks showing up to one of these marches, they were the only ones getting arrested. Oh, no. This is not our fight. I'm sorry. I don't care. I do not care what these folks say. I love me some Don Lemon. I love me some Joanne Reed and Rona Martin and all the rest of our little leaders on the media. Mm-hmm. But they do not live in our world. They are millionaires, y'all. They're still Black. And when they show around, they still show up Black, right? And the police still treat them how they treat them because they don't know them like we know them, right? They're only stars to us. But they're still millionaires. And so they're still insulated. Okay. And so it's very easy for millionaires to tell regular folk to get out there in them streets. If I were in America, I would say, hell, no. Why should I? You treat me like 100% American, and then I will fight for America. But until then, you owe me, America. You owe me. You owe me. E-True, that's what time it is. That's what time it is. Is that a waffle as your icon? I can't tell what that is. Hey, Adelia, good to see you. That's all I'm saying, right? All I'm saying is not our problem, y'all. It is not our problem. We did not create it.
And they're going to keep trying to suck us into it.
They're going to keep trying to suck us into it.
Because they need a whooping boy.
That's right. But this is their problem. And we're not going to do it. New Life Curator, I see you. Steve, I see you. The Luxury Bucket List. Oh, gosh, I just love your pictures that I see. I see you. Parasani, you're in the house. Jackie is in the house. Who else is in the house? All right, you guys, let's get on. All right. So number one is that we are not going to have preconceived notions about other countries or cities. Okay. We're going to visit them on our own, especially if there's something about that zhuzhes with you, that vibes with you, right? Yeah. If there's other folks that you trust that say, hey, this is a place I could live, do not believe the American hype. Number two.
Well, before we get to number two, I got to say something about Medellin. And I said it right, Medellin. So Medellin, we went to a place in Medellin that was once the most dangerous place, probably In all Colombia?
No, I believe in all of South America.
Oh.
I think that's what they said.
Yeah, it was a danger, but how they turned it around, I mean, the community turned it around, and it's amazing. And a lot of large cities in the U.S. should look at what they did to turn it around and bring profits to their neighborhoods,
to their community. And that money, y'all, because we know this story, right? That money is recycling within the community multiple times.
You don't feel
Okay,
threatened. You don't feel
right? As well as that, right? And so folks who are coming to the outside to purchase services and products and this and that and the other should feel fine. But more equally as important is that money is being circulated within the community multiple times. We want to see this in the South African townships, in the townships of Brazil, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let's just show you a little bit.
Just the other day, saw you looking my way. I start to contemplate moments that went to waste. Why you do that? You drop me like who that? And put me through that. But baby, it's useless. I'm living my life. Don't need to remind me, feeling just fine. One of a kind. Who better than I? Oh, Shawty, don't play that game. Shawty, don't play that game. I won't keep you safe. Time that I relocate, don't play that game. Shawty, don't play that game. I know my place. Shawty, I know my. Got a lot to do. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do.
So the majority of that was Comuna 13 or Terce. Comuna, I guess, means community. And it is up on the hillside of Medellín, which is so interesting because, of course, they've got beautiful views. So a lot of those daytime views that you saw behind us were of Comuna 13. It is a miracle what they have done. It really, really is. It really is. It really, it's like a cross between a whole neighborhood of Señor Frogs, right? Meets Disneyland, meets the flea market artistry, the art, all of the artists that would show up at a flea market or an artist bazaar or something like that. All of that mixed together. That picture that you saw at the very front. Go back. That right there. All right. So that I just showed you, that jacket I got in Comuna 13. It is a midi length jean jacket with that painting on the back. And in most of the murals that you saw, or a good portion of the murals that you saw that we shot in Comuna 13, was done by this artist, and I believe his name is Chota, Chota. And I thought Choka before, but I think it's Chota, a TA. And he painted what was on the back of that jacket and all of the stuff that is in that store. Yeah, the jacket was only about $60. $60 for a good jean jacket. Comes down to my calves with an original painting on the back. I love it. And I think it was worth every single penny. Every single penny. So the first thing, we wanted to show you Medellín. We wanted to show you Comuna 13, which is supposed to be the bad neighborhood, because we wanted you to change your thinking about what it means to live outside of the country. Change your thinking, okay? The thoughts that we had of what was true back in the 80s and the 90s as we were coming up is not necessarily true today.
Right.
Number two, the second thing that we always hear people try to say to us is what?
You should always buy property right away.
Right?
And it's like, no, you shouldn't.
Not necessarily.
No.
Like, I mean, if you are a real estate person in the United States and you have been studying the real estate market globally, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Pause. Fast forward through this, okay? But for the average person who thinks like an American, like I own a house, right? We've always been told don't rent. If you rent, you're just giving away money, right? Really? Because you got to have a place to live. So renting is not necessarily giving away money. That's a misnomer. And it looks at real estate the wrong way, okay? Real estate should be an investment. You should always think about purchasing real estate with an investment mindset, not in I need a place to live.
Right.
Okay. Not in I need a place to live. And that's a whole different mindset. So the first reason to do that is because the notion that you're going to buy a place and 5 years from now, it's going to be worth more money. And then you can sell it within 2 to 3 months because now you don't like living in that country. So you're going to live in another country. And in 3 months, you're going to have that place sold and boom, you're going to take the money and you're going to go. No, that's not how it works everywhere around the world, y'all. That is not how it works. Places will sit on the market for years in Portugal. For years, okay? This burn and turn and flip and trip and all of that nonsense, that's an American thing. Why? Because America has credit. Because America's banking system says we will give anybody a 30-year loan as long as they have credit, good credit, right? But in other countries, they're like, wait, how old are you? 65.
Yeah.
You 65, in Portugal, you'll get a 5-year mortgage. That's what you will get. That's what you will get. So if you're buying a $500,000 house and you're bringing $300,000 to the table, that's $200,000 you got to pay off in 5 years. Oh, and it's adjustable. Yeah. So unless you are going to pay cash outright, you need to consider these things. And if you are going to pay cash outright, is that the best use of your money in this moment in time? All right. So that American notion of I've got to buy a house to live in should not follow you outside of the country. Now, it may be in your best interest to buy a piece of real estate relatively soon.
Yeah.
But that's probably rarely. Okay. For the average person watching, that's probably a rare occurrence. Okay. So don't just assume that the first thing that you need to do is buy a piece of property. Oh, I'm going to buy a house. Oh, I'm going to buy this. Another thing, if you're moving to major cities outside of the United States, most likely it's going to be harder to find a single family house, because everybody else did not do the stupid ass thing of sprawl like they have in America. Yes, that's stupid, because you need a car. You got to maintain that infrastructure all across, all them sewer lines and all that stuff got to be maintained. That's taxes. That's money, right? If you've got density, then that's less to maintain. And the rest of the world figured that shit out. But America was led by capitalism and greed. And so the lobbyists in charge of rubber and oil and the car industry and metal and all of the things that it takes for transportation, they all got together and said, no, we want everybody to have their own car. We're going to build these roads. We're going to make these tires, and we're going to do all of this stuff to make sure that you are enslaved to this kind of lifestyle. And we bought into it, y'all. We bought into it, especially those of us who do not live in the Northeast. So number one, do not think that the countries of yesteryear, the cities of yesteryear, are still as dangerous or even dangerous at all comparatively to American cities, right? That's number one. Number two, don't think that the first thing that you need to do or that you should even buy a piece of property in this geopolitical climate. For a lot of you, might want to stay a little bit more nimble. Are we back, y'all? Are we back? I think we're back. I think we're back. Hopefully, y'all can hear us. For a lot of y'all, you will want to stay a lot more nimble than what you're usually doing. All right. And so that means not having all of your cash tied up into a piece of property that you don't know if you can get the cash out. At least with stock, you can sell the stock.
Right.
Right? Thank you, Action VJ. At least with stock, you can sell the stock. But with a house, you have to wait for some other human being to want to buy it, or a corporation. Right? All right. Number 3, the US dollar is king. Always.
No, it's not.
Always.
Not anymore. Currency fluctuations and rising BRICS influence. I mean, the dollar's dominance is kind of fading.
Más y menos. Look, a smart expat learns to think in local currency. Adelia Borshade of Picky Girl Travels says this all of the time. Do not think in dollars, think in pesos, because she lives in Mexico, right? Do not think in dollars, think in euros if you live in Europe. If you live in Colombia, think in Colombian pesos, all right? Because when we think in dollars, we're like, oh, this is a good price. I'm only paying. But what is the average Colombian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Portuguese, Spanish person paying? South African person paying? What are they paying? Because you want to start thinking, if the place that you're choosing, you see yourself in for the foreseeable future, all right, then you really want to start thinking in that currency. Yes, you may make some income in dollars, but the important part is, because we know, like, let's say Rand, South African Rand, $2, right? The dollar is still stronger, and the dollar probably will remain stronger than a lot of these currencies for the next 5 years or so.
Right.
But not as strong, and getting weaker by the moment, y'all. Getting weaker by the moment. Rick and I have lost 17% of our wealth if we were to transfer all of that wealth into euros. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. And so thinking that the US dollar is always going to be king is going to kill you. You need to think in local currencies. Number one. Number two, you need to think about transferring some of your money outside of dollars and into another strong, stable currency. We have a good portion, not a third or anything like that, but a significant portion of our money in euros. We're looking for a third currency, and we suggest that you do the same. And as we learn, I'm sorry, I keep bumping this. As we learn, we'll tell you what we learn. We'll tell you what we learn. All right, y'all. I've got to give a shout out to A Better Life. A Better Life. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your membership and supporting Maureen. Hey, I thought you were already a member, Maureen. Okay, thank you. And E-True has donated $4.99. And let me tell you, every single penny will go to Beyond, our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. That is our financial freedom program for late bloomers like ourselves, all right? And so if money is the issue, if you need to figure out how to understand what is happening with your money, how to save more money, how to make more money, how to invest money, Beyond the Bling is what you need. That is our financial freedom program. All right. Is something wrong? I see you with this.
No.
You need to plug something in. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Where are we? I'm going to mark the questions so that we will have them. The euro is dominant now. I'm telling y'all, look. And Tashika, are you sure? Did you do research on that? I have not. But one thing that I do know is, the euro is strong. Now, someone was talking on, I can't remember if it was, I don't know, but I know it was our community. So I don't know if it was Beyond the Bling or this or that or the other. I don't know. But anyway, they were saying that they were concerned that somebody was saying in the government that the federal investment, the para, whatever their investment money is into, whatever the money that they will be paying their retirement funds out of, right? Their pensions and all of that. In Colorado, it's called para. In California, it's some other era. CMERA, I don't know, something like that. It's called something different in every state. But anyway, the federal government has their version. And they were hearing rumor, because this was a federal employee, that these MFs were talking about taking the para fund, the federal para fund, right? I'm gonna call it that for lack of a better word, and I'm sure y'all are gonna correct me in the comments, and putting that into
Trump.
Crypto. No, they didn't say Trump crypto. They just said crypto. Trump. She said Bitcoin, but it probably would have. He probably talking about Trump crypto. You know that. Now, I don't believe that will happen. We know legally that it is unsupportable. But we also know that the melon felon does whatever the hell he wants to do, and he does not necessarily listen to what the courts tell him to do, right? We know that. So I do not think that we need to worry about Social Security or anybody's government pension being taken out of dollars and put into some kind of crypto in the next few years. That will definitely go to court. And it would be interesting to see what the Supreme Court will say about that. Especially because their little retirement is caught up in that too. But of course, they've been paid off so much from the corporations, they don't really need that retirement now, do they? I digress. Number 4. Okay, so number 1 was, do not think that yesterday's dangerous countries are tomorrow's or today's dangerous countries. Number 2, do not assume, like Americans do, that the first thing that you need to do when you move to another country is buy a piece of property when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Now, if you are a real estate person who has been investing in real estate in the United States and has been investigating that around the world, I'm not talking to you. You know that. We're not talking to you. We're talking to the average American, like us. Like us. We would not have known what the UCK we were doing. We did not even know that fixed rate loans were not standard, y'all.
No, we didn't.
We thought that was standard around the world, and that only people with bad credit could not get a fixed rate loan. That is not standard.
Nope.
All right? And so if you don't know what you don't know, pause. Don't pause on the plan to move abroad, but pause on spending a lot of money on shit. That's what I'm talking about. All right? The number 4 myth is healthcare abroad is always low quality. What you think about that?
That's bullshit.
I thought you were going to say baloney.
In reality, countries like Portugal, Thailand, Colombia have excellent health care. Mexico, excellent health care. Often at 10 to 20% of U.S. cost.
Not less, not 10 to 20% less. That's not what we're saying. No. We're saying 10 to 20, I'm going to even say 30 to 40% of the cost of healthcare in the United States. And I'm saying 40%, not necessarily for Thailand or Colombia, but maybe for some things in Portugal.
And many of their doctors train in the US and Europe.
Yeah. All right. And so the notion that the United States has the best healthcare system is just that, a notion. It is not fact. It is not fact. It is not fact based in facts. Now, the United States may have had some of the best research facilities. They don't anymore because your president gutted them. So they may have had some of the best research facilities making some breakthroughs more than other countries. Those days, of course, are over. And the same equipment and everything else that they use in the United States, they use abroad, all right, for a fraction of the cost. We talked to, and we did an interview with somebody who has been living in Medellín for about 3 or 4 years, has a business, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to give away the whole story because we did interview them. But bottom line is that when he first came, he did not have insurance, and still he wrote checks like you would write a check. Well, whatever check. He did the Zelle, whatever they do. I'm aging myself, aren't I? It's like a video. He took a video. He didn't write no check. But anyway, he paid out of pocket. He paid out of pocket as if he were paying for a Starbucks. Okay, y'all? Don't believe the hype. Do not believe the hype. Number 5.
I'll lose my Social Security, or retirement benefits if I leave and move overseas.
And that includes TRICARE for those veterans. If you are a veteran and you are watching, we're talking to you, okay? TRICARE is accepted in a lot of countries. It is accepted in Portugal, okay? So do your Googles. Do your Googles and then double check. But I am telling you, TRICARE is accepted at a lot of places, especially those places where you have a huge Black American immigrant community. Okay? Social Security. Now, in fairness, we did have somebody contact us who was living in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Whose Social Security, they refused to deposit his Social Security check into a Russian bank.
Right.
And he was calling us for help. Like, baby, what can I do? What can I do? I'm not an attorney.
One was Russia and one was North Korea. They wouldn't.
You moving to North Korea? I should hope not. Russia, too damn cold. And we ain't putting up with the Putin. Right? He's the first melon felon, because he's a felon as well, right? He got indicted. Yahoo got indicted. Yes, Netanyahu got indicted, right? All these got indicted. And here they are running things. So, yeah, we heard North Korea. We talked to someone in Russia who said that their Social Security had been cut off after years of it being deposited with no problem. And actually, this was before the melon felon got elected. This was before. So I don't know, y'all. What we do is we keep our American bank account, and look, the American government only needs to know what the American government needs to know. They not the boss of us, right? So our pensions and all of that go into an American bank account, and then we transfer huge chunks of money at one, maybe quarterly or biannually into our Portuguese bank account. That's what we do, right? And so, whatever FBAR and all of those things that we need to fill out, we do the things that we need to do legally, right? But we don't need to let the IRS and everybody else know where our money is. They don't need to know that. All they need to know is that we are filling out the paperwork that they require us to fill out.
You're being legal.
That's all they need to know. All right. Number 6.
I don't speak the language fluently. I can't move there.
How's your Portuguese coming, babe?
It ain't. Well, why you dogging
Why
me
you
out?
calling?
Why you calling me out? Hey, I'll get there. I got the basic greetings and stuff like that. That's what I need to do right now. Yeah, you always need to do more.
But it has not stopped you.
No,
Right?
It hasn't stopped me from
Debilitated
communicating
you?
with people or anything else.
Going to the doctor,
No,
going to the pharmacy,
nope.
right? Getting your beard cut or whatever have you.
If I have to, struggle a little bit to try to understand somebody, hey, then most of the time they're willing to help you out as much as they can, and you come to a common ground to
Right.
understand each other.
Yeah. And technology is your friend,
And
okay?
technology, definitely.
Technology is your friend and not Google Translate. No. You want to use something like Reverso, reverso.net. Take out your pen and pencil or pen and paper. Reverso.net, okay? Not Google Translate, because Google Translate had this person telling me that I had pimped her out. And when I sent the quote to my Spanish tutor, she said, yes, it could mean that, but in context, this is what it meant. Okay, so we're going to use more sophisticated tools than Google Translate. But that does not mean that not knowing the language should keep you bound to a country that is determined to put you back on the plantation. Right? Because in the president's mind, any of you watching is a low IQ person. And low IQ people need to be out there picking that food. Go pick that food. So learn the basics before you leave, right? Hello, goodbye, thank you, where's the bathroom? What else?
Bathroom is very important.
Excuse me, I keep bumping this. I need to know the foods and how to order the foods. That's what I need to know. I need to know about the foods. But to be perfectly honest, y'all, I was so crazy before we left America. I did not even know how to say anything more than hello and goodbye. And because I had Google walked around Portugal and could read the signs, I figured my Spanish would do. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. And I already knew that they would get offended if I assumed that Spanish would do. So I never assumed. But I thought I would understand a lot more than I did, y'all. Okay, so learn some basics, just some basics. Chances are you will never be fluent. Unless you're very gifted, you will never be fluent. Okay, just get that out your mind. You ain't gonna never be fluent because there's always gonna be some words that you don't know. There's going to be some words within subject matters that you don't know because it just doesn't come up, right? Like I could not describe in Spanish the whole process that we saw of the Panama Canal and the boats going down and I don't know those words. I know water, I know boat, right? But I couldn't describe that. You see what I mean? So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? You need to be able to communicate in your everyday life. That's all, right? And if you want to learn more, learn more. Yeah. If you want to learn more, learn more. But don't be so hard on yourself to think that you have to be perfect before you move, that you have to be fluent before you move, that you have to know how to and understand. And let me tell you, after 5 years of private tutoring, I came here. Now they can understand everything that I'm saying. I can't understand half the words coming out of their mouth. And I tell them, your accent is different. And I'm not used to it. And you're running shit together. And I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. Right. And they say I speak Spanish well. That's what they tell me. Oh, you speak Spanish well. You understand well. Your accent is good. But my accent is like my tutor's accent. I don't know what they saying. And I'm not going to trip off of it. And I'm going to continue to speak my broken Spanish / Portuguese, because it's at this point Portugal, and let them correct me with no ego, right? Let them correct me, because that's how we get better. But what we don't do is allow that to be an impediment, to allow that to stop us from moving forward, to allow that to stop us from getting out of the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 7.
It's cheaper everywhere outside of the U.S.
Not necessarily, y'all.
No, not necessarily at all.
Look, you can live in Lisbon, Portugal at the same price that you live in Manhattan, that you live in Los Angeles, that you live in the heart of Chicago. All right? That you live in Dunwoody. If you want to. If you want to pay $6,000 a month for rent, you can. And they will gladly take it. All right? If you want to eat at restaurants where the average meal is €30 or $40, you can. If you want to shop at the stores where you will overpay for your basic groceries, you can.
Yep.
Or you could move to Switzerland or Singapore or some of these places and just pay more, because everything costs more, right? Every place is not necessarily a lower cost of living, but guess what? Most of Western Europe is. Most of Western Europe, once you get here, well, we're in Colombia right now, but once you get there, is a lower cost of living. Believe it or not. Y'all, Rick and I still live in Portugal, not with the travel and all of that, but with our life and all of the extras within Portugal. Okay, all of the eating out and the going to concerts and the this and the that and the minor travel, yes, under $2,700 per month. Okay.
Hey, Dennis. Thank you, sir.
One thing I noticed was how proud Colombians are of Cartagena as one of the first cities founded in the country and its African culture and heritage. Yes. Okay, so we got treated to some Afro-Caribbean dancing over the past 2 nights, and we've got it on video, y'all. So, stay tuned, because we are going to put together a sizzle, a fun video of all of the highlights of Cartagena. And I want to say Cartagena because romancing the stone. Okay, Teddy? Anyway, with the Afro dancers and the Afro-Caribbean dancers and the Latino Caribbean dancers and everything else that is so cool about the tourist area of Cartagena. And so, yeah. And so he says, visit Cali on your next trip. Yeah, we know. So we took a salsa class, Dennis, in Medellín. It was salsa, and then
what was it? I can't remember.
Batata. But oh gosh,
you ever name?
I just had it, and I asked if they had it here, and
sexy dance,
and it said yes. It starts with a B. Anyway, so Cali salsa is entirely too fast for me. It feels like aerobics, and I'm not into that. I love the way it looks, but I ain't doing it. And so I got to get my phone. I can't remember. It starts with a B. If you guys know, the dance, it starts with a B. That's Afro-Caribbean. That is big here in South America. Let us know in the chat. Y'all be knowing. Fun and less touristy. Yes. So we know. So Cali, y'all, is one of the Black havens. For those of you who do not know, a friend of ours, one of the friends, Jerry, hey, he's going to be moving to Cali in the next month or so. Yeah, the next month or so. And so our friends who met us in Medellín, they live in the suburbs of Medellín now, But we interviewed them on the channel about a year and a half ago. And at the time, they were living in Cali. And that's Christopher and his better half, Monica. So we interviewed them, about 12 to 15 months ago, something like that. Just over a year ago. So you definitely want to check that out, because here's the thing, guys. Portugal was first on Christopher's list. Portugal was first, okay? And yes, his partner is Colombian, and so that helped him, make a decision on Colombia. But he was still trying to get to Portugal. And I have to say, like, if I had built a life in Medellín, I'm not sure that I would want to move to Portugal. Why? Because now, had Kamala gotten elected, I probably was still being I would probably still consider it, He's looking up the dance. But she didn't get elected, and the melon felon got elected. And under this geopolitical climate, I'm not so sure where Europe is going, y'all. Okay? So if Europe is where you want to go, understand that there may be a time in the future, maybe 5 to 10 years out, where Europe will not be comfortable, okay? And if you're cool with that, and we could be wrong, because I can't predict the future, but if we continue going the way we're going, and the melon felon and the rest keep capitulating to Putin, and he keeps moving west, we've seen this story before, right? We know our history lessons. We know what could happen, all right? And so I just want y'all to remain nimble. And if Europe is the place, know that you might not be able to be here forever, be in Europe forever, okay? So Benita says that they started transferring money into their Portugal account a minute ago, all right? And here's the thing, you guys. If Portugal is not the place, if Western Europe's not the place, that's fine. That doesn't mean you have to move to Europe to invest in the euro, okay? So in our description of most videos, I haven't put it in this one yet, I will right after this, we have a link to a company that can help you get a Portuguese bank account and the tax ID number that you need to get the bank account, okay? They can help you get both of those things for one fee, and then you can start electronically transferring your dollars into euros and into an EU system that is just as safe as you believe the American banking system is, okay? And so, yeah, any other video before now, like if you want to just open another tab and look at another video, you will find that information in the description below. I have not put it in this one yet, but I will as soon as this is over. And thank you, Benita. Thank you. Some people, no matter what you say or do, cannot be convinced. You are so, so right. Y'all, if there is one of you listening and you truly, truly cannot afford to pay for Beyond the Bling, our financial freedom program for late bloomers, every single penny goes to our scholarship fund. We do not need to hear I am channeling my inner Rashida, right? And this is what I heard her and Stephanie say when they were giving out scholarships to Exodus Summit 5 years ago. We're going to trust our community, okay? That if you need a scholarship, if you ask, that you need it. And that if you don't, you will save it for somebody who does, okay? So we don't need to hear a horror story about why you need this or that or the other. We're not asking you to do any of that. If you ask, we're going to assume you need it, all right? And if we have it, we'll give it. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, okay? Mm-hmm. All right.
I couldn't find it. I thought it was Bali for some reason.
No, it's like basada. Oh gosh, where's my phone? I don't know. And I just told somebody else, we were in a store down the way and he was talking about, have you done this? Have you done that? And I said, we want to take a class in this, or do they have this kind of dance here in Cartagena like they do in Medellín? And he's like, oh yeah. So I remembered it just a minute ago. just a minute ago, y'all. And now I can't remember. I don't know. All right, let's get back to it. So,
Kalena.
no, that's not it.
That's not it.
No, that is the salsa of Cali, and it's a fast salsa. That's how he was pronouncing it. But this is not a salsa. It's called something else. It's not a salsa. It starts with a B.
Okay. I don't know.
Now it's gonna bug me, like it's bugging him. Okay, now I know why. I see what he searched for. Now I know why he didn't find it. All right. So number one, we are not going to assume that cities and countries are dangerous based upon American and white people propaganda or yesteryear's propaganda or yesteryear's facts. Okay. We're not going to assume that as soon as we move to a country that we should buy a piece of property right away, that should be our first goal. Okay. That is not necessarily a good idea. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm saying that it's not necessarily a good idea, especially in this geopolitical world that we're living in right now. Number three.
Dollar is king.
Right? US dollar ain't always king, y'all. All right? US dollar is not always king. Currency fluctuations are real. And with what the melon felon is doing, they're serious. They are serious. Like we said, if we transferred 100% of our money into euros, we would lose 17% of our wealth. Had we transferred 100% of our money back in 2022 when we first moved to Europe, we would have gotten 102% of our wealth. We would have been up 2%. Yeah, that's what the melon felon has done. He has taken us from up 2%, not solely, up 2% to down 17%. I mean, hell, Sleepy Joe, it was up at what? 96, 97%, 97% of, of the euro, right? It hovered around there somewhere. It was always good enough not to really stress about it. That ain't the case anymore. All right. Number 4.
Healthcare abroad is low quality.
Wrong. Number 5. I'll lose my Social Security or retirement benefits overseas. Not necessarily. Number 6.
I don't speak the language fluently,
so I can't go. Wrong. We don't speak Portuguese. I can speak some transactional Portuñol. That's it. That's all I got. And sometimes my accent is so good, they just start. And I'm like, no, that's all I got. That's all I got. Number 7, it's cheaper everywhere else outside of the US. No, there's places more expensive. And if you are not careful, you can spend more money even in Mexico, even in Colombia, even in Ecuador and some of these places where the exchange rate is really good. You can still, if you are not careful, be gringoed out of your money, y'all. Okay. And so when you move, you want to get into community so that you understand what you should be paying.
Right.
And get those contacts, just like when we're searching for a job, all right? You want to build that network and get with other people so they can find. The reason why Rick and I are paying so little for our rent is because we had a friend who lived in Portugal who helped us find that apartment, okay? We've got folks who can help you find an apartment in Portugal, in Panama, in Costa Rica. Maybe Spain, if they've started that yet. Okay. But either way it goes, you want to find some local people to help you. They will help you not overpay. Number 8.
My American credit score will follow me.
Nope. You're starting from scratch, basically, in most countries. All right. You're not starting from total scratch in Portugal. If you are, 40 or 50 and you're like, yeah, I can do a 20-year loan. And I've got 100,000 to put down. I'll do a 20-year loan for the rest, I'm good. Right. They will pull your credit, but mostly just to make sure that what you say is true, not to necessarily ding you, okay? But your credit score, your credit, not your credit score, your credit will follow you if you are seeking to get credit in other places. Not 100% of the time, but some of the time. Okay? All right. However, are we saying that just ignore all of your bills and just like dip? No. No, that's not what we're saying. With some of these student loans and things like that, you know, I get so pissed off about what they are doing to us with these student loans, especially when we had a president who was trying to get America out of student loan debt, right? And for those of us who have paid so much that we have paid more than we owed in the first place, so we paid that plus the VIG, right? And they still want more because the interest rate fluctuates or it's so high, et cetera, right? It is hard not to walk away from that. And I'm not telling you to walk away. I'm not telling you not to walk away. What I'm saying is if you can get an income-based repayment plan, try to get that. Even if it's a private student loan, try to get that. If you know that there's no way on God's green earth I'm ever going back to America, okay. If you have absolutely no family, no friends, no ties to America, okay. I'm telling you what to do. But if there's a chance you might have to go back, if there's a chance you might have to get credit in the future, that's one thing to consider, okay? But that does not mean you have to pay off all of your debt before you get out of Dodge, all right? I still have a student loan. They tried to hit me up after the melon felon came in with a $900 a month bill. I told them to go fuck themselves. And after speaking to, hanging up, oh, you sound black. After talking to her, it went down from $900 to like $42.50. Okay? So work with it. Do what you need to do, but you are not required to pay anything more than you are required to pay. And right now, they're only requiring me to pay $42.50. So that's all I'm going to pay. That's all I'm going to pay. Number 9.
Moving abroad means disconnecting from family or culture.
Actually, I think that we have found deeper meaning and deeper connections, especially friend-wise, with folks in our new community in Lisbon, Portugal, and around the world, right? I mean, you guys, people paid money to travel to celebrate Ric's birthday. I see you. I appreciate you. Oh my God, I'm getting teary. Yeah. People paid money to travel to Portugal who are not my family members, not my family member.
To be present. Yeah.
Now, my family members did travel to see Ric on his birthday. But not one family member traveled to see me on my birthday. But other folks who are my new family paid money to come celebrate my birthday. Y'all, I see you in the comments. I just can't give up my friends and family. Y'all, one of my best friends in Denver, that I met in Denver, she no longer lives there. But when she saw the video of my birthday party, she was like, Halisi, you would not have had that many people at your birthday party in Denver after living there for 20 years. Okay? We build community outside of the United States, and especially with folks who are of the Exodus Summit mindset. What is that? That's that not getting into that Black excellence bullshit, that crab in the barrel, I got to compete with you, and oh, look at me, and I know this person, and I drive this, and I got that, and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, right? If you're that type of person, you're not in our community. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. all the rest of the folks, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Such community, right? Such community. And anyway, all right. So that's number 9. Moving abroad does not mean that you are disconnecting from family nor your culture. We celebrate, well, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We celebrate Friendsgiving in Portugal. We celebrate Juneteenth in Portugal, okay? And we have every single year since we've been there.
Yes.
So it does not mean that you have to give up. And we get to celebrate all of the new stuff. Let's not take it. I don't know what's happening with this internet, y'all. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to scroll down. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we are back. Hey, Karen Louise, good to see you in the chat. Better healthcare systems than the U.S., right? Taiwan, Germany, France, South Korea, Portugal, Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, Switzerland, all rank much higher. Look, the United States is number 30-something. There are 30-something countries.
Yeah, it was 36 at one time when I looked.
Right? There are 30-something countries that are better in healthcare than the United States. Does that mean that the doctors are better? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the system is better. I don't believe that the system is set up for our doctors to do the doctoring that they would like to do.
Right.
Okay, so I refuse. Thank you, Karen Louise. I refuse to blame the individuals when the system is at fault. Okay, when the system is together and then the doctors aren't doctoring, then that's another story and another time for another day, another story for another day, another conversation, right? But until then, I haven't tried them. We haven't tried them. We have not tried them.
I have a couple friends that have them.
Yeah, they like them. They like them.
Christopher said he had some.
Yeah, he said it works, especially at the doctor's office.
Yeah, and Ron had some.
Oh, does he have them?
He showed them to me. I was like, do they really work? And he said, yeah, they do.
Huh. Well, okay. So I know that there's a company who makes these translating earbuds. And getting back to Benita's question, and they have asked to be a sponsor of Our Black Utopia, y'all. But until they send us a pair, they're not going to be our sponsors. You notice that we have had no sponsors because and we've got to use it, believe in it before we tell you to spend your hard-earned money on something, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're not going to do. So we have not tried them. And because that company has yet to send us a pair, a back and forth, we ain't tried them. So the language that I speak is Portuñol. It's Portuguese and Spanish put together with a little bit of Ebonics. I love you, sweetheart.
Crazy. She crazy.
So,
Portuñol.
Yeah. What's up with World Explorer? Hey, Action BJ. Oh, actually, he said DJ. Yeah. Okay. Y'all talking to each other. All right. I think I know who World Explorer is. I'm looking for questions, and then we will get to the very last one. And we're gonna let you go because I'm unclear about this internet, and I don't like it keeps dropping and stuff like that. So I'm not sure about that. Killer Queen. Okay, you guys, pause. Killer Queen and I are going to have a conversation right now because Rick and I have decided that you might be a little bit too picky.
They got air conditioners, Killer Queen. You ain't got to spend all the time outside in the humidity. I like it myself.
I don't. But Medellín, it does not have the kind of humidity that you would expect from a South American country or city, okay? And it has the infrastructure that bougie ass Americans expect. And so anyone who has not made a decision should have Medellín on their list. That you should have Medellín on your list, okay? I'm serious. I'm serious. Like right now, food notwithstanding, because the food ain't as good as it is in Portugal, and it ain't even close to what it is in Thailand. I'm just gonna say, as a matter of fact, Thailand has the best food I've ever tasted in my whole entire life, bar none, bar none. And then Mexico. So it's not even fair to compare it. It's not even fair to compare it. Okay, because they got all the seasonings you need, they got the foods that you need to cook what you need to do at home. Maybe not filet, maybe not bay, whatever that old bay or whatever that folks use, right? Medellin's the bomb, y'all. It is the bomb, all right? Cartagena ain't bad, but it's a little too small for me. I can already tell it's a little too small for me. Medellin is the bomb. I think it should be on everyone's list who has not made up their mind, all right? Now, if you need water, Medellin's not the place, okay? It's not the place. It's inland, which is one of the reasons why it has less humidity, okay? So if you need water, and Medellin's not the place, but if water is not the thing that you need, Medellin should be on your list. And yeah, Benita, you're absolutely right. Some people will never leave, and there's nothing that we can do. And I know that some people have quoted Harriet as saying something like, I could have said, but I see there's Teddy.
See, is that
hey,
it?
Teddy. Yeah, that's it. Bachata.
See, Teddy knows. Teddy knows.
True knows too. She knew, or he knew. A lot of people knew. Bachata, bachata, bachata. See, you knew. And it was on the tip of my tongue. Y'all heard it, right? It was on the tip of my tongue. I just said it to homeboy down the street just a minute ago. And then I come in front of you guys and I can't remember. And I'm like, patata or kuna matata. What are we talking about? So yes, it is bachata. And we've got some video from, we did not take a lesson, but we went to a bachata social. And with this young man who's doing tours via TripAdvisor, what have you. And so we got exposed to some locals, very, 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 very locals doing bachata dancing.
They were dancing up a storm.
They were like one after the other. Wasn't nobody
goodness.
drinking, wasn't nobody eating. They were just dancing. And it was a lovely sight to see. It was lovely to see so many males and females dancing together, since I don't see that too often anymore. I don't see people dancing together too much anymore, period. All right, let's get down to the bottom. And yep. Tashika, thank you. Love this show. Keep up the education. Thank you of others. Thank you, Tashika. We are so grateful. Y'all know. Scholarship fund. If you need a scholarship, it's hello@ourblackutopia.com. Put scholarship in the Ray line, y'all. We get a lot of emails. If you have asked and I have not answered, send me another one, okay? Because I thought I would be able to work more on this vacation than we are. Look, I'm not trying to work. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you I'm not. But put scholarship in the Ray line and in the subject line, and I will see it and we'll hook you up if we've still got scholarships left. All right. And then Tashika has also given 2 months worth of membership to folks. So we are not member for 2 months. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Member for 2 months. We are not fear mongering, right? They're in the news. This is the news, y'all, right? This is the news. But inevitably, we get somebody who says we're fear mongering, and it just is what it is. Hey, Lou, the Spanish coach.
Don't get those earplugs.
Trust me. Look.
I mean, just for a little bit of help.
I might get the earbuds for countries that I have no intention on moving to, right? Like for I'm going to go visit Vietnam or even Thailand again, or someplace like that, where I know I'm not going to learn the language, and because it's hard and the characters are in a different character, right? They're different characters. So that's number one. And number two, right? And three, this is just a place that I will visit. Right. And so for those places, maybe I would get the earbuds. But for Portugal, no, absolutely not. I need to hear all of the accents. The northern accent is different from the Lisbon accent, which is different from the southern accent. And there's probably inland accents versus coastal accents as well. I don't know.
Too many damn accents.
Well, there's a lot of accents in the United States as well, but we were born and learn to hear them, right? And so just being in Colombia and hearing them say things, it's like, wait a minute, I know those words. And then once you slowed it down and said it, I understood what you were saying, but you talked so fast and whoosh words together that I did not understand that Colombian accent, right? And I think, to Lou's point, that for me anyway, I need to hear the locals speaking because I want to understand the majority of Spanish accents. And I know like the DR has this weird ass accent. Even the Puerto Ricans have this accent that's hard for me to understand. Right. But yeah, so the buds would not work for me as far as Spanish and Portuguese go, because I am trying to learn those languages and I don't want any cheats. So thank you, Lou, the Spanish coach. 100% of his donation goes to our scholarship fund. But yeah, if you want them for places that you're going to visit with these languages that are either only spoken in that country, there's, like, is Cambodian a language? Do they speak Cambodian in Cambodia? I should know that. I took Asian history. I don't remember. Right? Like, I'm not going to learn Cambodian. I will learn hello, goodbye, where's the bathroom? Thank you, of course, thank you. And I always like to learn I love you in different languages. But other than that, I ain't learning it. Hey, World Explorer, thank you for the super sticker.
Thank you.
Thank you so, so much. All right, we're going to get to number 10, and then we're going to let you go before this internet gets stupid again. Number 10.
Expat life is only for the rich and adventurous.
Now, if you're watching Our Black Utopia, then you know that we do not believe that expat life is only for the rich. But I do believe that it is for the adventurous.
Yes.
Right? Not like I'm going to jump out of a plane with a parachute adventurous, but like I'm going to go into this bank knowing that most of the people don't speak English adventurous. And I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to look like a 3-year-old. And I'm okay with that. That kind of adventurous, right? I'm going to try this new food. The very first time we went to Europe, y'all, and I saw those pieces of ham, which were basically prosciutto, hanging up in the windows of all these stores, I was like, what am I? Have I just stepped back into medieval time? What the hell? We don't be hanging meat in America. Meat goes in the refrigerator, not in the window. Ducks hanging upside down and SHIT like that.
Yeah.
Rick was like, I don't know what none of this stuff is. Just give me a hamburger. So what we started doing in the early days of our travel is every single time we landed in a new city, we would take a food tour and let the locals introduce us to the local foods. And then once we tasted, we were like, oh, okay.
There's only one thing that you didn't really care for is when we had breakfast in Thailand. And they took us on that food tour. And it was like, wherever we was.
Oh, no, I enjoyed everything. But see.
You didn't want the local dish.
There's adventurous, and then there's adventurous.
She wanted the local dish.
He had the thing with all parts of the pig in it.
From rooter to the
the rooter to the tutor and all the innards and all that. I'm not eating that. I don't eat it in American. I'm not eating no chitlins.
I wanted to check out
He had some Thai chitlins and tripe. and ears and nose and feet and all this nonsense.
Oh, it didn't have feet.
Okay, so somebody knows I'm a little bougie. So I think they had, in mine, they had just the deep fried pork belly, bacon, thick bacon, right?
Yeah.
And
which was good.
And
it was excellent.
Something else, but the soup, the broth.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. You know, like good ramen broth, when they know what they're doing and they've made the ramen broth for hours, like it's a 24-hour to 36-hour thing. That's how the broth was. And so apparently in Thailand, they eat soup for breakfast, probably with some fish in it and stuff like that, as well as pig parts.
Didn't have any fish in it.
No, this one didn't have any fish in it. But I know in some regions they put fish in it. Yeah, ours just had pig parts. So yeah, I wasn't into the pig parts. I took some of the pig. And so I had the tourist version and he had the local version. Mm-hmm. And then our friends who are with us, they had the in-between version with just a little bit of the pig parts and not all of the pig parts that you had. But yeah, doing those food tours.
Oh yeah,
we would have never gone down to that place had we not been on that food tour. Right?
No.
Because it was down, y'all. It was down in the dungeon, like in the back, in the dark, in the ghetto.
Back alleyways.
Like you would have expected rats to be running through there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But there weren't.
It was clean. Because why? Because Home Chick had a lot. We found her on either Airbnb Experience or TripAdvisor, whatever. But anyway, it's word of mouth, right? So she can't get bad reviews. So she's going to make sure that the places are not going to give us food poisoning. And that's why I always do those kinds of things through folks who have a lot of reviews. And I can't remember their name, the person, but who gave us that food tour. But they were excellent.
Oh yeah.
They were excellent because they knew the history, the culture, as well as the foods. And they fed us so much food. Oh my gosh. And that's another thing. So one of the reasons to do a food tour is because so much of our culture is caught up in food, y'all. Right? The African American culture is very caught up in food, and it's part of our culture, it's part of who we are, right? The right kind of the macaroni and cheese, right? The candied yams, right? The smothered this, the smothered that, all of the things that we make, and we make a certain way, right? Don't bring out no box of Kraft talking about this is some mac and cheese.
Yeah, I mean, hog maws and pig ears and
yeah. And for those of us from certain parts, gumbo and all of that stuff, right? There is history in that. There is culture in that. And that is true around the world. So one of the most fun things that I like to do is take a food tour when I get to a new city and learn about the locals, learn about the local customs and how they eat and the foods that they like. And I have to say, I have yet to be disappointed. Do I eat everything in every single stop? No, because I'm picky. But we get a good introduction, and then we understand, and when we see foods that are presented in a way like the fish with the staring at you, right? Presented in a way that they don't in America, we're no longer turned off. Because now we know.
Well, yeah, you understand.
Right? Because now we know. And so that kind of adventurousness is definitely necessary. And that's what we've got for you today. So expat life is for the adventurous somewhat, but not like thrill-seeking adventure.
No.
You don't have to be thrill-seeking adventure to move out of the United States or out of your home country, nor do you have to be rich.
You have to be willing.
Thank you. We're talking about changing your mind, right? It doesn't mean that you have to disconnect from family or friends. It does not mean that your credit score will follow you. It does not mean that it's cheaper everywhere outside of the US, nor does it mean that you need to speak the language of your new home country fluently before you even leave. You should be willing to learn the language. But don't let that be an impediment. No, you're not going to lose your Social Security if you move out of the United States or your pension, okay? Today, that is the case as of September 19th, 2025. Yeah, because the melon felon's in charge. Healthcare abroad is better 8 times out of 10.
It is quality. There is quality health care.
Okay. It's just better. It's just better. At the very least, you're going to get a doctor who is not running around burn and turn like a waitress at the Denny's on the corner, right? Going from room to room to room to room. Okay. Did she weigh you? Okay, she weighed you. Okay, now we're going to talk about this and do that. Okay, now the nurse is going to come back in and she's going to do that. What? No, that's not how it works in other countries. In Portugal, you get to sit down with the doctor for the whole hour. It's just you and the doctor for the whole hour. They block off the hour or the half hour, whatever your appointment calls for you. He or she is not running from room to room to room to room. Okay? It's a whole different situation. So that healthcare abroad is low quality, is bullshit, lie, myth from the pit of hell. With some propaganda bullshit to keep you enslaved in that matrix called America. Number 2, myth. You should always buy a property as soon as you move abroad.
I think you missed 3.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Maybe, but probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. I missed number.
You need to learn the laws and stuff. You need to learn a lot of stuff before you go out.
Not just the laws, right? But the market, right?
The market.
The market as well, right? You don't even know the market in these new cities. You might not even know the market in your own city. You might think you do. But have you watched a city council meeting lately? Do you know what they're investing in your city? Where are they investing? See, right? Yeah. You might not even know the market in your own city, much less a foreign city. And then I missed number 3. The US dollar is king, always.
I mean, it was the international currency, so to speak, but it's really losing its luster.
Right? It's losing its luster. All right. And so don't assume that you're always going to have the same conversion rate that you do today. And look for a place where the conversion rate is not in your favor, where the cost of living is in your favor. Okay, where the cost of living is in your favor. So even though in Portugal, the conversion rate is not in our favor, we still are living a better quality of life for this amount of money, a much better quality of life. One, because 50% of the bullshit that they put in the food in the United States is illegal. In Europe, it's illegal. It's illegal in a lot of other countries.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the food tastes different. Your body responds to it differently and all of that stuff, right? There's so many factors that go into so many intangibles, right? How do you put a cost on that? How do you put a price on that? How do you put a value on that?
Right.
Right? And then lastly, that America is the best country and the safest country in the whole wide world. It is one of the most dangerous countries in the whole wide world. You hear about the cartel shooting up 4 people. Really? Because a kid shot up more than that in a school just last week.
Yeah. Just because.
Not because those kids stole this other kid's territory or whatever. Right. Let's stop believing the hype. But what about the cartels? What about the school shooters? What about the mass shooters? What about all this white on white crime that's happening in the United States? What about that? Because it's out of control. All of this white on white crime is out of control. And we are looking to see when the white leaders are going to get their shit together and get their community under control. But until then, you and I need to watch our back.
Yeah.
And we need not to fall into complacency or capitulation and think that we are fighting for something that is worth keeping, because we're not. All right? We're not. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Karen Louise's statement. I wish I could check out Tyrone's National Park in the Caribbean coast, where rainforest meets Poly Coast, where the rainforest meets the beach. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, that would be cool. That would be very cool. So where is Tyrone? Tyrone? I don't know where it is, so I don't know how it's pronounced. National Nature Park. Let us know. Um, Definitely let us know. All right, y'all. Our internet is kind of weird. Oh, okay. It was typo.
Oh,
Tayrona National Park.
yeah.
Okay. I've seen that. I gotta remember where I saw
I thought that was because
it.
I
See,
saw
now he's
something
gonna
about
start looking it up. He's gonna start looking it
something
up.
about flying the drone, and that was one place you couldn't fly the drone, Tayrona.
Okay. He's got some great drone flights, y'all. He's got some great drone flights. So, I mean, shots. And y'all, oh my gosh, yesterday, I'm going to tell you guys the story and then we'll let you go. We will let you go. And let me see, make sure we don't have any really, really pressing questions down here. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And while I'm telling you the story, I will search and make sure that we got all of the questions out there. Teddy is right. Get out and travel, y'all. Get out and travel. Get out and travel. Get out of your comfort zone and travel to the places that you didn't think you would ever travel to. I have to say, it has opened my eyes, and I just can't imagine not knowing at this point. I just can't imagine not knowing. So yesterday we went to, we walked over to the historic district. We walked the first day at night. And so yesterday we walked during the day. And this local vendor, actually, he's a vendor because he does drone footage, and he sat there for about 30 minutes.
Oh, it was long, probably more like 40
a
minutes.
good 30 to 40 minutes, and showed Rick all of these cool tricks on the drone and got us these amazing shots.
Well, you know,
on our drone.
you have different laws and different rules when you go different countries to shoot, and I wasn't sure, and I just happened to walk across him, and I definitely wasn't sure I could shoot in the area that we were in. And meeting him and him showing me some different things about it, he was doing some amazing things with the drone, and it was like, okay, this is cool. And then another group came of people that were also drone pilots, so
Yep.
we got to talking and showing different ways of finding footage for the drone and stuff like that. So it was fun.
It was great. And there was a language barrier, y'all. There was a
Yep.
language barrier. I was helping with what I understood. But again, we're talking about a vocabulary of words that, when am I going to be using words that have to do with shooting drone footage? Right? So that's what I said. Give yourself a break when it comes to fluency. But I could help with the basics. And just the graciousness, right? Just the graciousness and kindness of the folks, and especially of this gentleman. As a matter of fact, I tagged him on our Instagram because he does great drone foot. Oh my gosh, he's been doing this for 5 or 6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
And this man, I mean, and he didn't even have the same kind of controller that Rick had. He was using his phone. He was using his phone as the controller. And Rick's got a controller that you can actually manipulate manually, not just do one of these kind of things. And so just for him to be able to get that good without having to use a phone, of course, that's a different generation as well, but is incredible. And so we've got some incredible shots. We can't wait to show you. We cannot wait. And so someone asked, based upon our 10 myths, which countries fall within our criteria. So we have done about at least 4 best countries, if not 5 best country videos. And of those videos, there's only one country that now I would be a little bit hesitant until I do some more research, just because they've been having a little bit of an issue lately, and that is Cuenca, Ecuador. But other than that, all of the rest of the countries that we have mentioned from 2022, from our very first Best Cities video to today, still stand. They still stand. All right. And interestingly, we based those other videos on a few things. One, cost of living and all of the objective things that you can tell by data on a paper. So it was that. And then it was also other Black expat travelers and folks who are living abroad and what they have said about their experiences. And so once we found a pattern with Black expats, that's when the cities would make the list, assuming that all of the objective criteria met our expectations. So yeah, all of the Best Cities videos that we have done in the past, most of them are all videos, not live. Okay. So you can go under our video collection and see them. And we stand by all of them. The only one that I would need to do some more recent research on is Ecuador. They're having some geopolitical issues right now. So, but other than that, and we still know expats that live there. Fortunately and unfortunately, they seem to live in gated communities. And I would not suggest a place where everyone would feel like they would need to live in a gated community.
Right.
Might as well stay in the States, right? Might as well stay in the States. All right, y'all. That's what we have for you today. I will go back and look because I'm afraid we're going to lose connection again. I will go back and look at any questions that we didn't answer. So it probably won't be in the chat. It will probably be in the comments. Okay. So look in the next 24 hours, y'all, if you asked a question and we did not get to you live. If you are a member of our channel, you can ask questions an hour before we go live directly with Rick and I as we get ready to go live, right? If you don't mind talking while I put on my makeup, if you don't mind that, then yeah, otherwise you can ask us questions directly on a one-on-one coaching call. That information is in the description below. We are going to be starting our next cohort for our Side Hustle Challenge in the next couple of months. So you'll want to get on our mailing list to make sure that because we only accept 25 people, y'all. That's all we can handle, seriously, because we really dig in and help you, okay? And we go through everything and give you feedback. And so we can only accept 25 people. So that will be happening soon. Our meetup every year is during the Juneteenth week. Y'all know that, all right? And we will have it again in 2026. So make your plans now, June 2026. We're going to start like June 11th for St. Anthony's Day, and it's going to go all the way through actual June 19th, okay? All of those days, there are all of these activities planned with all of these different communities and folks around the city. Okay. Our events are 2 to 3 events during that time. And then we will invite you to other community events and things like that. It is a great time. Yeah. And for folks who are wanting to move to Portugal, June.
Yeah.
June is the time where you can come and you can meet other Black American, English-speaking immigrants, right? That's why the folks who we've helped move to Portugal, we ain't seen them. They ain't trying to call Halisi Ric and say, hey, where y'all at? No, because they done met all these other people and they're out there in the international streets having a ball with their Ace Boom Coons, all right? With their new Ace Boom Coons. And they ain't thinking about no Rick and Halisi, are they? Okay. So that's what goes on. We are going to have a Zoom call in the next few weeks with folks who want to come to the meetup. Okay. So that you understand what the expectations are. This is not a tour. We do not plan your flights or your hotels or any of that stuff. It is a meetup. We are telling you we're going to have these events and we're inviting you to come. And I'm telling you, this is the way you want to do it because this is how it's going to be if you move abroad. All right. You're going to have to figure out things on your own. Now, are we just going to leave you out there hanging and not tell you what neighborhoods or no, none of that. Okay. We will give you some hotels that we have heard people like. Okay. We have the WhatsApp group. We will start the WhatsApp group with the first batch of people, and everybody helps each other out as well. And guess what, folks? The 2025 people, they are still communicating via that WhatsApp group. They are still helping each other. They are, looks like they've started accountability partners and everything else. I'm telling you, okay? The community that is being built, this is what's going to be your support system. You don't have the support at home, your family's acting crazy, How would you ever want to move my ancestors and all this kind of nonsense? There is community outside of blood, okay? Sometimes you have to find your community outside of blood. And it's out here. It's out here. All right, y'all?
That's it.
All right. We love you, and we will see you on Thursday, and we will be in a different country on Thursday. We'll let you see. We'll let you know where we are when we're there. Bye. See ya.